What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 7 NHL 24 Toronto Maple Leafs Franchise Mode Series. Thank you guys so much for all the support on these videos. Wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up on this one as well. I'd really appreciate it. Right now, guys, you can see I actually haven't started saving the preseason yet, and that's because I plan on making a really big trade here. But first, if you guys missed the last episode, I'd highly recommend going and checking it out because, spoiler warning, we finally won the Stanley Cup. And not just the Stanley Cup, we actually won the Calder Cup as well. So pretty cool to see the Toronto Marlies there, their second Calder Cup. I'm hoping the NHL team can also win a second Stanley Cup. We have a couple years left here. I think the team pretty good, definitely has a good shot to do it, but like I said, I'm going to make a big trade here to start. Before I do that though, I'll show you guys what the team looks like in case you forget. Just a rough look at it here. You can see that top 6 forward group is insane. All getting a +5. They're all 90 plus. It's got to be the best top 6 in the league. Even the third line there, you got Fraser Minton, Svechkov, Pinto we signed. Fourth line, you got Nyes, Tavares, Ostapchuk. Defensively here, we got Riley, Theodore top pair. Pesci, Pelech on the second actually get a +5. Honka, Jarechek there -1, but overall not too bad. Goaltending, we signed Dostal. We got Liv there as the backup. So I'm sure if you guys are looking at it, you can kind of figure out what we're going to make a trade for, and that's defense. A bunch of you guys were commenting saying, I got to go get #1 defenseman. I feel like, there's only a couple years left. It's definitely the thing we need the most. And I was looking around. There's actually a couple options. On Carolina, there's this Hay prospect, or I shouldn't say prospect. He's 800 overall now at 22. He's a legit #1 guy, plus young, not signed yet by the Hurricanes. Offensive there. Still very good stats, like worst things physical, but it's not even that bad. Basically, our options are either him or Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad here, obviously much older. He's now 33, 88 overall. He's making $7 million. I think the Carolina guy could honestly get up to a 90, so I'm going to try trading for him first. If we can't get him, we'll go for Ekblad. Now, I was looking at it. We could trade Theodore's contract, but the Hurricanes really can't afford him, so instead I could trade Jarechek. You guys saw he was getting a -1 on his D pair, and then with him also trade Miettinen, who's in the AHL. 81 overall is not bad, but I mean, if we get this guy back, I think it makes a lot more sense. The value is actually on our side. They want both. Hayes on the block. This honestly might be too much. There's no way they would also give us Salayev, is there? Because that would be ridiculous. Let's just try this. I'm assuming it'll be a no, but you never know in this game. Trades rejected. They said it wasn't sufficient at all. Plus, I don't even know if I have the cap for both those guys. Let's try at least getting a second-round pick back here with Hay. And there we go. Okay, so I think that's a good deal because in the next 2 years, I doubt Miettinen gets to an 89. Now, of course, we got to go sign him. I was already looking at it too because him being an RFA, you could see kind of his ask in free agency. We should have the money, $6.2 million. He wants 4.4 for 1. 2 years, 6.2. We only need him for 2 more years, so this could work out perfectly. Let's try a $6 million here for 2. Just give us a little bit of wiggle room there in case something funky happens with the cap. And there we go, guys. Hay digs up the offer. I think we just got a #1 defenseman. Honestly, pretty cheap. That's awesome. And after that trade, guys, we actually need another AHL defenseman. I found this guy here, Figaras. Hopefully I said it right. 25.78. I feel like as an AHL defenseman, league min, that's not a bad contract. All right, guys, so after that big trade, give you an updated look at the team. I feel like if beforehand I thought we could, contend for another Stanley Cup, win back-to-back, definitely now we can. Obviously, top 6 isn't touched. I decided to actually go back to what we had last year. Like, we won a cup with it. Might as well run it back here, see how they do. If the team, I feel, is faltering a bit, could definitely put Marner back on the top line. The forward group there is, completely the same. Defensively, though, we got Riley Hay there as our new top pair. Pesci, Pelech on the second with Theodore Honk on the bottom. Theodore's probably one of the highest paid bomb pair defensemen here, $9.9 million. Definitely would look to, move him in a trade at the deadline or next summer. Obviously, that's a lot of, kind of dead cap. They're not really doing too much for us on that bottom D pair. Goaltending, of course, no change. You look at the power play, I mean, the first one's insane, especially with Hay there. Again, very good offensive stats from him. Power play 2, I think. You got Riley and Theodore there now. It's kind of even better just with, different defensemen moving down beforehand. I would say, like, Riley was probably on power play 1. PK-wise, you got Svechkov, Minton, getting a +5 with Pelech and Pesci. So there's really no holes in this team. I think the only place we're getting bad chemistry is actually this third PK as well as the third 3-man. Apart from that, we're solid. So overall, should be good. AHL team as well, I think, could win their Calder Cup. You got Voigt there on the first line with Mignov. He's another guy, could maybe make the team in the next year, but I think will probably have more value for us in terms of a trade. You look at the rest of the team, you got a couple 80 AHL forwards. Defensively, like, they're all in the high 70s. Again, AHL goaltender, Hildeby's our starter, he's a 79. So pretty optimistic for this season. Obviously, too, guys, this summer will be our final draft, so hopefully we can make a use of that. Matthews there, leading scorer in the preseason. And entering this season, guys, we have 100 offense, 91 defense, 84 goaltending. Let's see how this team does. Actually, before I forget, too, guys, we got to check contract extensions. So luckily, all of our top players are under contract. Pesci, though, needs a new one. He signed to 1 year, so we actually can't extend him. Riley, we could. Should be a drop. Wow, he's 84, and he actually wants a raise. I don't know about that. I think when you look at his ice time, his ass should come down after this season. Svechkov, we also cannot extend. I don't think any of these guys, honestly, we can extend. They're all one-year deals. Goaltenders were good. So I guess actually we have no extension. So I guess that's kind of a good thing. And like I said, hopefully Riley, his price will come down during the year. All right, guys, we're at the end of summer now with a record of 21-9-7. Team is crushing it here to start the year. We're actually behind the Red Wings, though, at 51 points. AHL team there, also doing very well, 25-1. I don't know if you guys saw, they're actually currently first place in their division as well. Miknov, huge season in the AHL, 37 points. He got 22 goals, almost a goal a game. Maybe that's a sign of, things to come, finally reaching that elite potential. NHL here, Matthews, 52 points already at 37 games. Perfectly even as well, 26 goals, 26 assists. We saw in the playoffs last year, on the way to winning the Stanley Cup, that Matthews can be a playmaker if he needs to be. So good to see him round out that game. We'll see where we're at the deadline. Again, would look to move Theodore in a big package, bring in, somebody a bit better that's costing $10 million. All right, guys, with the deadline now, with a record of 40-13-7, we are crushing it, 87 points. Somehow, though, we're actually not first in the NHL. That goes to the Calgary Flames with 89, and we actually do have 2 games in hand, so if we just win one, we'll pass them. Speaking of which, Calgary actually the only team to give us a loss in our last 12 games. We won 11-12, pretty incredible AHL team here. They're 39-11-1, which I'm guessing, yeah, they're first place in the division, also first place in the AHL. So both teams continue to crush it. Miknov there, still leading scorer, 69 points, nice. NHL-wise, it is still Matthews with 77. So we'll get to the deadline here. I'm curious to see what's available. Definitely 1,000% we are buyers trying to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. So, okay, you got Anton Lundell. Makes $8 million. We could retain 50%, make that 4.91 overall. I think the value there is just a ton, though. Askarov actually got re-signed with the Preds. I didn't think he would. Or wasn't he in free agency? Does that mean he signed with them even though they have Saros? I'm confused about that. I swear he was in free agency, but maybe he wasn't. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Noah Dobson. Okay, 90 overall. The value's actually not too crazy. If we could retain 50% on him, trade Theodore. Barkov as well, same thing. I think the forward group, though, like our top 6, no one's breaking in, so you're basically looking at a great third liner. Cam York, I thought about maybe signing. He's already on the block for the Sharks there, 5 years, $9 million. Brady Tkachuk, Barrett Hayton, Ty Dellandrea, Anthony Cirelli, Carter Verhaeghe. All right, so a lot of options here. I guess the first one I'm looking at would be Dobson. I think the forwards are pretty good. You bring in Dobson, you probably put Pelech on the bottom pair, I guess, with Honka. Now, Shea Theodore's not having a terrible year, 4 goals, 22 assists, but again, bottom pairing making that much money. I feel like Dobson's more worth the money at 90 overall. Now, we do have a first-round pick in this draft. Probably won't amount to anything. Theodore plus a first is pretty close to Dobson. I think, too, we have some medium league goalies. Yeah, we have one there in Emminger's, currently AHL backup. I mean, probably not going to catch Dostal. Liv might, so we could throw Emminger into this trade as well. At that point, I think the Islanders might say yes to this. Let's take a chance. Trade's rejected. Isn't up to snuff at all. Okay. Aaron Ekblad's still on the block for the Florida Panthers, making only $7 million for the next 3 years. That's a really good contract for an 88. He's got, what is that, 49 points this season. A lot of minutes for us. He could be top pair instead of Riley. Could be a second pair guy, depending on how the chemistry breaks down. Yarncroc is just there for the roster spot. Could make the Panthers the same offer. It looks like it won't be enough. And yeah, trade's rejected. They're not retaining any salary, though. I mean, again, we're saving cap space here. We're also getting an upgrade on D. And look at this, guys. I was just looking through our players. Labrouille here, we drafted 2nd round last year. It was actually the last pick of the 2nd round. He's already an 80. He's got 75 points right now through 48 games in the queue. That is insane. I think we drafted him as like a 70. Maybe he was even a little bit higher than 70. But yeah, 2-way forward, 90 D awareness. I think we just found our new third line forward for next season. I'm not sure if who comes out between Svechkov, Minton, Pinto. Svechkov is on an expiring deal, so we might lose him, but that is awesome. Definitely going to keep him because he can honestly win the Calder. I wonder, like, Miknov, he's kind of also potentially going to make the team next year. LeBlanc there for sure, 20, 55. Like, would adding him get Florida to say yes? All right, guys, I'm going to try adding this Zacharias guy as well, 18, 53. It's a lot to give up, but again, we're saving $3 million in cap space. The first rounder, if it's a late first rounder, it's not a big deal. The goalie probably isn't going to be good enough to make our team next year. You got a couple of medium top 6 forwards. You get Ekblad there. Basically, at this point, our team is set. Although, you know what I just realized? One thing I totally forgot to check. How is Dostal doing as our starting goaltender? .921 and a 241. Okay, we found ourselves a goaltender. Now, it might be the fact we got a good D in front of him, but wow. Okay, that was a great signing. So, yeah, seeing that, I think all we really need to do now is upgrade the D slightly more. Ekblad, better defensively than Theodore. He's cheaper. We're giving up a lot of pieces, but they're not going to do us any good when the series is over. So, let's see if Florida says yes to this. They want all 5 things. and they still say no. I think at this point, maybe we stay the course unless there's like some small trade I can find. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm circling back to Noah Dobson here because he is 2 overall higher than Ekblad. Even though he'd be a rental, I think he would really push our team over the edge. Like, come on, 92 D awareness, 90 shot block, stick check. Similar offer here, Theodore first. I'm actually going Lenkow there, high starter potential. I figured, you know, there is at least some chance Eminger could be something next year. Lenkow, there's no way at 64. And then I got Barkov there, defensive prospect they like, medium top 4. Let's see what the Islanders say. Have them retaining $2 million. Trades rejected. I could try adding like Zacharias to this one. I feel like this is definitely probably the best offer I make. The value's so far on our side. And they still say we're quite far off. So I think the teams, rightfully so, probably look at Theodore's contract as a bit of a cap dump. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm trying to make another trade here. The Carolina Hurricanes. Silayev there still on the block. Now, didn't get a contract, so he'll be a player for next season. Fits on the top D pair. I'm not sure where else, but if you guys don't know, he's actually a real-life prospect in this year's draft. 6'7", 85 overall. 92 D awareness there. Solid physical. I think he could probably play anywhere in our lineup. I feel like this way, if we make this trade, we can trade Theodore for just straight picks. Don't have to actually get a player back. Offering a first-round pick. No way they're going to be as good as him. Plus the high starter goalie. The value is a bit on our side. They don't want either thing. I think they'll go for this, though. Let's see what they say. Trades accepted. All right. So, yeah, we have a defenseman for next year replacing Theodore. I feel like even if that's the only move we made, we tried our best other places, and that was solid. All right, guys, the trade deadline is now complete. We'll see what other moves got made. Apparently, we actually made the last trade there. Philip Misar going to the Oilers. Morgan Frost there to the Stars. Caden Gooley to the Capitals. Jake Wallman also to the Capitals. They're loading up on D. Fairbury to the Blues. Marco Rossi to the Stars. That's pretty big. You got Bernard Docker to the Blues. Sandin to the Lightning. Sorelli and Turcotte to the Capitals. Wow, they're actually making tons of moves. Michelli there to the Blues. Delandria to the Blackhawks. Lennox there to the Stars. So, pretty active trade deadline, specifically for the Central Division as well as the Capitals. And right there, guys, can see one of the blockbusters involving Delandria. And, of course, after the deadline, guys, our team will remain the same as we only made the one deal for Silayev, who can't play for us till next year. So, hopefully this team's good enough to win us another Stanley Cup. Let's go find out. And I just finished streaming through the entire season, guys. As you can see there, we finished the record of 53, 21, and 8. I would say a very good year for sure. 114 points. Was that good enough for the Presidents? We beat the Flames by 1. Yes, it was. I think that's our first Presidents Trophy. Let's go. AHL team, 51, 16, and 1. And they got 103 points. I think they're also winning the regular season in the AHL. That's pretty awesome. Mikhnov there, 87 points and 52 goals. You got to remember, too, 52 goals in 68 games. That's like a 60-goal pace, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even slightly more than that. NHL-wise, Matthews at 96. Only 46 goals, which for him, not hitting 50 is actually kind of a down year. Almost had 100 points, though, so can't be too upset. We'll see how the rest of the guys did. You got Martin there with 87, so he's actually still producing quite a bit on the second line. Laxo, 84, 35 goals. So he did have a bit of an off year, like last year at 57, 101, or maybe that's more kind of just normal there, having 84. Nylander, 77, Ward, 76, Demidov, 75. So, oh my gosh, Fraser Minton at 71. We had 7 guys on the team with 70-plus points. That is ridiculous. Fraser Minton especially stepping up, doing that much production with only 14.5 minutes of ice time. Just absolute playmaker there, almost 50 assists. Hay had 50 points on our team, so that's a big-time trade. Even Svechkov, 43 on the third line. Pinto, 40. So, yeah, this entire team, Riley, 40. Like, we are stacked top to bottom. Tavares, 23 points. The captain, doing his job on the fourth line. Goaltending, Dostal, unreal numbers, 916, 263. That's some of the best goaltending we've got, and at a very cheap price. What do we pay him? $1.5 million. AHL, Hildeby, 923 with 8 shutouts. It's also kind of ridiculous. Behind Mikhnov there, you had Ty Voigt with 70 points, over point per game. Ovchinnikov there is just on point per game. So, yeah, overall, very happy with how the team did this year. Look at that. Mikhnov actually led the league in scoring, 87, which kind of makes sense. And then you got Stenberg there, second. Goals, yeah, Mikhnov first. No one's even close, 52. NHL-wise, goals is Bedard, 57. Take a look at points, though. Also Bedard, 107. Robert Thomas there, second, 104. Panarin, Kyrou, McKinnon. Matthews, though, did just make the first page. Defensive scoring there. Adam Fox, 87, -6. So, Quinn Hughes probably winning another Norris. Unfortunately, Hay did not make the first page defensive scores. Ekblad, though, did. So, I mean, might have been a big get if we were able to get him. Dostal, most wins. Tied with Andreanov there. Both had 40. Save percentage for a starter might be Dostal. And it is Luke Dostal, 916. We might have signed a Vezina Trophy winner for $1.5 million. That's crazy. Goals against, also Dostal, the lowest there for starters. So, yeah, I think he might get it. Rookie skaters here. Vigo Bjork on the St. Louis Blues had 52. Might get it. This other guy in the Blues who had 1 less point but plus 22, he might get it. So, pretty good year there for the Blues rookie class. Now, in terms of the entire league, guys, as I mentioned, we won our first President's Trophy, 114, just narrowly beating out the Calgary Flames. Only 5 teams there with 100 plus. Let's take a look and see last place in the NHL this season. The Anaheim Ducks back to the basement. Only 68 points. Goals for, we were first place, 321. Just barely edged out the St. Louis Blues. And then goals against here, the Flames had the best. We had the 4th best, though. So of course, that means we won't be getting the William Jennings trophy. But like I said, I do still think Dostal has a very good shot at the Vezina. So we'll get started here, guys, with the playoffs. I'm actually not even sure. First round's either going to be the Lightning or the Metro Division wildcard. And it's the Hurricanes. Oh my gosh. Accidentally sim game 1, which is like immediately. And we lose an OT. Pretty funny we're playing the Hurricanes after making 2 pretty big trades with them. Of course, getting Hay as well as Silayev. Silayev can't play for us right now, unfortunately. But that'd be pretty honestly embarrassing and just typical for this game if the Hurricanes beat us after trading us, to their better D-man. First line still stacked, though. Svechnikov, Aho, and Natchez. You got Jarvis on the second line of Schmaltz and Height. Third line's got Fabry. Kokoniemi's still there. Gunler on the team now. Suzuki, Moore, Nadeau defensively. Renski's on the team. Jarechek, of course, we traded them. He's on the top pair for them. Fabro, Slavin, Benning, Clifton. Jarechek here. How do you do for them? 24 points plus 4. So, like, not bad, not amazing. Goaltenders, they got 88. Gabriel Daigle. All right, so on paper, I think our team's better, but they're definitely not a bad team. I feel like, we should beat them. First game was an OT loss. That was a close game. We definitely got tied up here, though, before it head to Carolina. Game 2, and it is a 6-3 loss. There's just no way. Game 3 in Carolina. 4-3 OT win. All right, luckily, pull this thing close. Can we tie it up here game 4? We do not. Are we going to lose to Carolina after arguably fleecing them in 2 different trades this video? Game 5 at home. Wow. Not only do we lose to Carolina in 5 in the first round, we don't even win a single game at home as the defending Stanley Cup champs. I thought we made our team so good. On paper, we were. We won the President's Trophy. And, of course, that is how we go out. Unbelievable. AHL team, they are currently tied 1-1 Cleveland. Let's see if they can get out of the first round, do what the NHL team could not. They do. They're playing the Belleville Senators there in round number 2. So at least the AHL team's making some noise here in the playoffs. They're down 2-1, though. And, okay, they fought back and actually advanced the conference final. They got the Bridgeport Islanders here. They're already up 2-0. And game 6, they do win. We got the Bakersfield Condors now in the Calder Cup final. Let's go. First 2 games are at home. Win the first game big, 8-2. Second game's a loss. Head to Bakersfield now. Win and a loss, so it's all tied up to a piece. Game 5 here is a win. Can this AHL team get it done? Obviously, we weren't able to watch the Calder Cup celebration before, as we were too busy winning a Stanley Cup, but let's see if this time we can watch it. Bakersfield's up early. Colton Dock there. 2-0. Probably all she wrote, and it is. Wow, this thing's going to 7. So here we go, guys. We're in Toronto trying to win back-to-back Calder Cups. Hopefully all the fans, rally behind this team with NHL team being out in round 1. And 1-1 after 1. 2-1 for Bakersfield. Philip Misar. Why is he even on the AHL team? They literally traded from the deadline. I think I saw him on the block. He was like an 83. They just didn't call him up, I guess. So, classic, AI GMs, coaches, whatever you want to call it. Are we actually going to lose this? Like, we had, what, the 3-2 series lead? Just had to win one of these next 2? Don't tell me. Oh, my goodness. So, not a first-round exit, but still, blowing the 3-2 series lead in the Calder Cup final. That's tough. And the playoffs are now complete, guys. The St. Louis Blues actually won the Stanley Cup. So, they had those 2 rookies, both fighting for the Calder and apparently helped lead them to a Stanley Cup win. The Islanders there jumped from 11-1 first overall. Respect on that jump. Oh my goodness. Laxo there is our lead scorer in the playoffs. Had 6 points, 5 games. I'm curious to see, what happened to the boys. We should have beat that Carolina team. There's really no excuse. Matthews and Ward were close to a point per game. Marner only had 2. He's got to be better. I mean, let's see. Nylander had 1 assist, was a -2. He's also got to be a lot better. So I think just the second line in general. Goaltending, Dostal didn't give us bad numbers. So really just the forwards and kind of the team in front of them did not show up for these playoffs. I think, winning the Stanley Cup last year, we're still a little bit tired. I don't know. St. Louis Blues here beat the Stars in 6, Avs in 7, Flames in 6, and then the Rangers in 6 to win themselves a Stanley Cup. Looking at the awards next year, guys, I think we know all the team awards. In terms of the individual, Bedard there, of course, got the Art Ross Trophy. Also gets a heart. James Norris there did go to Quinn Hughes. Kyrie got the Lady Bing. Anborn got the Calder, one of the Blues rookies. I'm not sure which. Kyrie also got the Conn Smythe. Dostal did get the Vezina. Let's go. So it was a big sign. I know I was hemming and hawing who I should sign. Looks like we made the right choice. Georgiev got the William Jennings there. You got Lamoureux getting the Bill Masterton. Flames coach Jack Adams. Benak got the Selke, interesting, more of a playmaker. Bedard, Ted Lindsay, and then you also got the Maurice Richard. So huge season for Bedard. AHL-wise, of course, Bakersfield there got the Calder Cup. We, though, did win the league. We also won our conference, division, all that stuff. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Mignov, though, most points in the league, which is sick. Also MVP, hopefully, and most goals. Hopefully, he'll grow from this. I know apparently AHL production doesn't matter, but still, like, hopefully something happens. Ufko, best defenseman. I didn't even realize that. Back-to-back years. That's pretty sick. I think he's like an 80. He'll be a best goalie. Wow. I mean, Misar, best player in the playoffs. That's no surprise, 83. Mignov also got sportsmanship. We won, like, more than half the awards, and then lost in Game 7 the Calder Cup. Definitely a disappointing end there to the AHL season. And now next year, you got to take a look at retired players. Is this the year Tavares finally calls it quits? I don't see his name. Kopitar does. Scheifele looks to play his whole career with the Jets. Huberdeau retires as a Flame. You got Carlson there with the Bruins. Kadri on the Oilers, interesting. Duchesne, Hedman, Couturier, Hyman, Trocheck, Toffoli. Honestly, tons of huge names here. Devin Tays even. Take a look at the goaltenders next. Jordan Binnington, Grubauer, Jack Campbell, Laurent Brossoit, Nedeljkovic there. Interesting. So a big retirement class, but Tavares, he's not done yet. He still thinks he's got one more cup in him, and I gotta respect that. And so we're at the draft now, guys. Of course, Islanders there picking first overall. What kind of talent is available? Wow, Dunham, medium franchise defenseman. You don't see those too often. What a pick that'll be for the Islanders. I'm assuming this next guy is probably medium elite. He might even be higher, to be honest, but the top 5 there are all medium elite or better. In terms of the gems, our scouts hit a ton. Oh my gosh, we got 2 guaranteed medium elite Americans. Both centers gonna go in the hundreds. Alexei and Leopold, let's go. Okay, even this low elite here, gonna go like last pick of the draft. Same with Rodin, another low elite Swedish guy. He's gonna go 7th round. Our scouts popped off. And we haven't even sorted by potential yet. There might be some more guys here. Are you kidding me? This Finnish goalie, Ruutu, guaranteed medium elite. That is awesome. Even this guy here, gonna go like 123. Good chance to be medium elite. So, I mean, worst case is probably medium top 6. If you get him in like the 4th, 5th round, it's good value still. And look at this, guys. We got 2 guaranteed low top 6 forwards. They're going to go like 300, 294, 1,000% you get them with the last pick in the draft. And like, again, that's a really good value. Like, the 7th rounder is not worth as much as a low top 6 forward, especially if they're a decent rating. All right, guys, so right here, trying to get a small trade, the Winnipeg Jets. Shea Theodore for a 3rd and a 4th. Both those picks are on the block. Again, Theodore only 84 overall, making almost $10 million. Not really worth it. Plus, we know we can actually get a couple of medium elite players with those picks, so that definitely makes this trade worth it, although normally it would kind of suck getting this return for a player we gave up so much for, but we're also saving cap too, so honestly I think it's a win-win. They say yes, so the fact we just said $10 million in cap space and we're going to get some medium elite players, I think is pretty ridiculous. And now next year, you guys are trying to trade the Vegas Golden Knights, trading the 2nd round pick we got from the Carolina Hurricanes, 50th overall. There's really no one I need at that spot, plus the Arizona Coyotes 7th for a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. We'll see what the Golden Knights say to this. Trade accepted, so we just, picked up a couple picks there. And I think we actually only need like 2 more, and I can draft all the guys I have pinned, which is, I think, 10 players total. And now finally here, guys, I'm actually going to trade Adam Pelech to the Avs for a couple 7s. He's dropped down to 82 overall, no longer has any X factors. He does have 91 D awareness still, but the shot block stick check is low, the physical is low. I mean, I don't know. He's 35 years old, already 82. I fear he could drop even more this summer. I think for $5 million, we could definitely get a better player. Like, that's quite a bit of money. Let's see what the Avs say. I'll stop Chuck there too, but that's just honestly there for the roster spot. He was okay as a 4th liner, but we can replace him with pretty much any AHLer. Let's see what the Avs say. Trades accepted. All right, so as you guys can see here, we now have 10 draft picks to hopefully draft every single one of those guys I had pinned. Again, I think our scouts did awesome in this final year. If you guys look too, top of this draft, I guess we could sim like one more pick here. You can see all the medium elites there, plus the franchise guy going to the Islanders, Dunham, 80 overall. Looks to be a beast. Defensive defenseman. You don't see that too often for a franchise. Very interesting. And so our first pick here, guys, is going to be number 60, end of the 2nd round. And I think we're actually kind of reaching here on our first pin. I want to say he's like 84, but it's the guaranteed medium elite goalie in Ruutu. And he's 52 overall, so not the highest rated guy, but I mean, end of the 2nd, medium elite goalie. We're happy. Our next pick here now, number 75 in the 3rd round. Again, kind of reaching a little bit, but as you guys saw, it's not really worth it trading down. You might as well just hold on to your pick. I think Alexei here is the next highest ranked guy. Guaranteed medium elite center, American. And 48 overall, but still, medium elite center sniper. We take that all day. And now next year, guys, we actually have back-to-back picks beginning of the 4th round. So we'll start off here with Braden Pierce, who's supposed to be medium elite left winger. Let's take a look. And he's a medium top 6. I mean, still not bad. And next we're taking this Finnish guy, guaranteed medium top 6, just because he is next highest ranked. 48 overall, could be higher, but still not too bad. Now pick 131 here, we're in the 5th round. I think we'll probably take that medium elite guy just to be safe. Leopold here, 152. He's actually 3 ranks lower there than Addison, but I don't want to risk it when we have a guaranteed medium elite dude. He's a gem. 53 overall. Again, not the highest rated, but in the 5th round, you're getting a medium elite. Like, this is honestly some pretty unreal luck we're having. And actually, guys, I realized I miscalculated. Got to move up a bit in the 5th round, offering up a couple AHL D-man here to the Panthers to get that done. Just 12 spots in the 5th. And they say yes. Wow, signing rights to, I think, Lambos and the other guy were both like 78. So that was actually quite cheap. And that way we get our guy without having to give up any extra picks. It's Addison there, the guaranteed low elite Swedish defenseman. 60 overall. He's actually one of the higher rated guys yet. Nice. Offensive as well. And our next pick here, guys, is now late in the 6th round. I think there's 4 guys left to pick. There are. Highest ranked is 200. Rodin, guaranteed low elite Swedish winger, 50 overall. And now in the 7th round here, I think we're looking at this dude, Vodolainen. Might have butchered that. Low elite. And he is low elite. Okay. Honestly, this draft's been, I think, one for the ages. Like, just so much good value throughout. You got Yakupov there. That's kind of funny. Next, I guess we'll take Central Scouting. Has Strite there, slightly higher rated. And 51 overall, low top 6. Again, this late in the draft, like in the 7th, other teams are taking like low 7th defenseman. Really good pick. This Menard guy could be a medium elite goalie. I mean, I doubt he is. I'll definitely check after. But Telkvist there, 49, low top 6. Let's just take a look. Menard was a fringe starter. Okay, I don't have to feel bad about not taking him. So, like I said, guys, that was an awesome draft for us. Cleared cap space and just pretty much hit on every pick. Alright, guys, we're at the re-sign phase here. As you can see at the bottom, we got 29 million in cap space, which is honestly pretty impressive considering where we were at start of the year. So Brett Pesce still an 87. I'd like to bring him back. He wants 5.6. I think that's actually very fair. He wants 2 years. We're not here for the second. I'll offer him like 5.25 to start. I think he might say yes. Going through the rest of the players, Svechkov is so good defensively for the PK. 1 year, 85, 3.75. I think that's, still pretty fair. Now, Silayev here, we definitely have to get signed. 4 years, 5.6. I mean, we only need him for 1. It would still be RFA controlled. Let's try 4.5 on a 1 year, see what he says. Honka, if he's still cheap, I'd bring back on the bottom pair, but he wants $2 million bucks, so I'm gonna let him go. Morgan Riley, down to an 81. This is why we did not extend him. He better be asking for a lot less money. 3.2. I mean, I think it's honestly kind of a lot for him, but he's been on the team since, 2012? Maybe 2013, and it's 2030 at this point, so his whole career, 17, 18 seasons. If he says yes to like 2.75, I think we definitely bring him back. Now, this Isaac Reimer guy could be 4th line this year instead of Ostapchuk. We'll take a look. The rest of these guys are pretty much AHL. Speaking of, Mikhnov, 2 years. We'll just qualify him. And I think, like I said, could make the NHL team. Labriere here, definitely, I think, I'd like to have. So, we'll give him his entry-level deal. I actually haven't seen him yet. Where is John Tavares? 78 overall. What's he asking for? 850K. I mean, 1 year. I don't know how good he'd be as our 4th line center, but we're going to keep him there. I feel like, loyalty should be fine if he's only playing like 5 minutes a night. Now, luckily, too, in terms of goaltenders, we are set. Could bring Hildeby back to be the starter, but Eminger's 78, medium elite. I think it makes more sense to have him in that role. So Hildeby kind of just got too old and probably just have to sign an AHL backup now. Also, too, guys, looking at our defense, it's a good thing we have some money as we need to sign at least a couple of guys. Ufko there is very good offensively. I'm not really sure if he's an NHL defenseman. And lastly here, guys, I was going to re-sign Ty Voigt for the AHL team. Unfortunately, though, he wants 1.2 million. So we just got to let him go to the AHL. It sucks he never, panned out for us. Same goes for, Easton Cowan even, but luckily we've had a lot of other really good players, so can't be, too upset. Now, Brett Pesce here wants a bit more money, which we can do. Same with Tavares. Not content with the amount of ice time. I mean, he's got to know he's a 78. Riley wants more money as well. Gregor said yes. Svechkov said yes. Okay, so I think it's going to be all AHL guys. Silayev said no. I guess we're a little bit too cheap. We have some money, so I'll give everybody an extra 250K, see what they say. Alright, guys, there we go. Brett Pesce said yes. Same with Tavares. I only had to give him 950K total. Riley, though, still saying no. He wants the 2 years there, not 1. Let's see. Silayev said yes. So Riley wants a 2-year deal. I mean, we're not going to be here for the second. I guess we can give him, I don't know, 3.1 for 2. See what he says. Also, too, you can see the Silayev and Pesce deals there. I think pretty fair. Riley still wants more. So basically, we got to give him what he's asking. And he now says yes. All right, so it leaves us with 15.3 to get 2 defensemen. I think we should be in a good spot. Obviously, like I mentioned, goaltenders are good. Forwards are more than good. I think we actually have probably an extra guy. And so it's now start free agency, guys. I'm curious to see who's available. Brant Clark. I mean, do we go all out for a true number 1? We kind of do have that in 89. We also could get Charlie McAvoy. Oh my goodness. I'm glad we have this much money. Wow, what a year to need a defenseman. You've also got Lev Shanov there, who is an RFA. Noah Dobson hit free agency. Same with Simon Edvinsson. Matthew Boldy if we needed a forwards an option. But yeah, no, this is the year to want defense is what we do. I mean, McAvoy's a 93. This is a difference maker. Looks to fit all defensive pairings. PK2. Brant Clark here. Defensive pairing 1. I mean, I'm down for any of those guys. I feel like Charlie McAvoy makes the most sense because he's the highest rated. Also, 2-way defenseman can play in all situations. Brant Clark here is offensive. Last year he had 60 points, which is pretty nuts, but we have Hay on our team. He's also got, wow, 99 shot power, 98 passing. I feel like I want McAvoy. Then we can probably just find some cheap dude to go on the bottom pair. So we'll offer him, I mean, what is our max? 15.325, an extra 100K for 3 years. Let's do that for Charlie McAvoy. I think I'm gonna have to go trade Shane Pinto to then have a couple million to sign a, bottom pairing defenseman, but that's all right. Also, you guys take a look at goalies here. Bottinger, 89 overall. We actually don't need any of these guys, but a couple of high-rated medium league goalies. Cool to see. We do need an AHL backup though, so 80 overall. We're actually probably just, let's go potential. Oh my gosh, Svensson, guaranteed medium elite. Somehow fell through the cracks, or let's see, did team let him go or did he not get drafted? The Devils drafted him 5th round. For some reason not sign him. Volokin here, 25-77 low starter. I think he'd be the perfect backup. He's actually got 84 poise for a goalie. That's pretty good. We'll give him a, I don't know, 2 years, 150K. Hopefully he says yes to us. Look at this. Looking at 2-way skaters. Andrew Crystal, 25-77. Never grew for some reason. Very good shot. Even passing 88. Just has no defensive or physical game. If we put him in the top 6, he honestly might be kind of deadly. So give him an offer. Of course, I'm talking about the AHL team, not the NHL. Repkov here. Take a look. 25-80. I think he'd also be really solid on the AHL team. Look at this, Braden Yeager as well. So him and Repkov both on the Canadian World Junior team. If you guys missed the video I did on that, seeing how long it takes them to win a Stanley Cup, go and check it out. I make sure to do that video every single year. Now, I think we need AHL defense. Oh my gosh, Rutger McGroarty's available. Come on, our AHL team's gonna be stacked. But now, like I was saying, guys, we actually do need a couple AHL defensemen. So more concerned with rating here than potential. We're trying to, win another Calder Cup. If we could win 3, it'd be pretty sweet. Ethan Edwards here, very good defensively. He actually plays for Michigan. 80 overall. He's 28, but, I mean, again, just trying to help with the AHL team win. We could also sign Loof here, who's got pretty good defense, better physical, good skater, decent passing, 89. Again, he's done growing, but we're just trying to win a Calder Cup. A couple 80s on the defense definitely help us out. And right now, guys, I'm actually looking at Roby Jarventi, 82 overall. Power forward, 5-star physical. He's got pretty good stats. Defensive awareness could be higher, but stick check is good. I'm thinking maybe like a stop check last year could actually be a 4th line left winger for us. So he wants 2 years, $1 million. I'll offer him just that. Again, we do have to go trade away Shane Pinto. I think he's kind of the odd man out. Svechkov's just way too good in the faceoff circle and defensively to get rid of. Obviously, Fraser Minton put up 70 points on the 3rd line. Doesn't really make sense to trade him away. Pinto here had a good season for us, unfortunately. Gotta let him go. Where could we trade him? Maybe Vegas? Maybe Vegas would give us a pick. Let's see. What's Pinto's value? Would they give us 2nd round pick? We could actually get, oh my gosh, Pinto's got kind of a lot of value. 1st rounder, though, is too much. I'll take, if they give me a 2nd and a 3rd for Pinto, I think that's a great trade for us. They said, wow, okay, so cleared some cap space, and now we have a bunch of picks to work with at the block. I think Pinto will fit in, quite nicely on that Vegas Golden Knights team. And so as you guys can see, we now have 17 million in cap space. We offered McAvoy 15.5. We offered the other guy 1 million. So that means we have 500K, but if they're taking over for $1 million players, it really means we should have like 2.5. Emery, RFA. Ooh, he's a guy I might circle back on. EJ Emery, defensive defenseman with great defensive stats. Try and steal him here from the Ducks. We'll wait and see what McAvoy says first. And here we go, guys. Svensson accepted our offer. I'm not sure if he was the medium lead or the 77 overall one, but either way, we got a goalie. Also, we got a new NHL goalie coach there, as pretty much every single year you have to sign a new one. And Jarventi here said yes. As I mentioned, could be 4th line left wing in the NHL. Loof there said yes. Repkov, Andrew Crystal, Braden Yeager, Ethan Edwards. So a bunch of guys to the AHL team make it better. I think Volokin here was the 77. The other guy was the medium elite. Rutger McGroarty there. Still need to hear back from Charlie McAvoy. And he says yes. Wow, what a signing. Obviously paid him a ton of money. And it's kind of, we're on the way out, giving this guy $15.5 million for 3 years at 32 years old. But honestly, that's actually not even a terrible contract when you look at real life deals. Like, that's paying him until he's 35. He should still be pretty good there. 93 overall D-man. Plus, we're taking him from a rival team in the Bruins. Now, we still have $2.5 million. I was saying how I wanted to try and steal that EJ Emery guy from the Ducks. Hopefully, he's still available. And he is. Wow, okay. So, could get him. Could also get Ryan Pollock. who, I mean, he's a little bit out of our price range by 500k, but he is a UFA. Emery, though, I mean, I just looked at his defensive stats. They're just so good. And his price doesn't even get that much more for, like, long term. Let's see if we can bring him to UFA. So even if the Ducks match this, it kind of screws them over, as he might be tempted to go to free agency. And I'll offer the max without a pick, because apparently we don't have our third. I think it's like 1.8 million. I'm almost, you know, positive the Ducks match this, but there's a world where for some reason maybe they don't. And there we go. Emery said yes as of now. Now we have like maybe a 5% chance the Ducks choose not to match it. Yeah, they chose to match. At least though he's going to go to free agency in a couple years, so we kind of screwed them over that way. All right, so now guys, looking at what's available, we could get Jake Bean. Theo Lindstein would actually be always an RFA as well. Zadorov there, 82. I know a lot of Leafs fans wanted Zadorov. Defensively, you can see very solid. Physically, he's got 5 stars. Playing on the bottom tier, only costing a couple million. You know what? For the culture, let's do it. 2.2 for 2. Let's see what he says. I think, too, if we get him, we'll probably actually play him with Riley. Miknov there, got offered 1.29 by the Oilers. We'll match that. And Zadorov said yes. All right, so I think the team is set for next year now. I think we're going to be looking pretty good. All right, guys, around the fall here, I'll show what the team is looking like for next season. I think we're going to be one of the best teams in the league. I guess last year we literally were the best team, but still we're a first-round exit. So first line, you got Laxo, Matthews, and Marner back together. Our best players getting a +5. Now, Demidov, Nylander, Ward's our second line. You can see all 3 of these guys have actually dropped below a 90. Nylander dropped from a 90 to 87, probably because he is 34 now. Sucks to see, but still has his own ability, which is nice. Third line, you got Fraser Minton, who's 87, so he's actually the same rate as Nylander now, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think I was going to see that happen. He's also added a couple X factors. Quick draw, tape to tape. Suchkov still our third line center. Labriere here, hopefully I said that right. He was our second round pick last year. It was like a 70, 72. He's an 82 already. Mediumly potential. Like, this guy looks like an absolute beast. Two-way forward as well, should fit on the third line. You got Nyes, Tavares, and Jarventi on the fourth. Tavares is down to a 77. I'm basically being nice. He's 40. I'm letting him, you know, stay with the team. Defensively here, we got Hay and McAvoy top pair. It's got to be one of the best top pairs in the league. Pesci, Salayev on the second with Zadorov and Riley on the bottom. Riley, like Tavares, dropped even more now, 79. Zadorov as well also dropped by 1 after we signed him. Goaltending, Dossel there, only 85. I thought he might go up by more than +1 after Vezina season, but that's okay. Eminger's actually the backup now. He's the medium league goalie. You look at the AHL, Liv here starting. I thought about keeping him up, but I actually noticed he had below 900 save percentage both years as a backup in the NHL, so I figured might as well give Eminger a shot. In terms of AHL forwards, you got Repkov there on the first line, McGroarty and Miknov. Miknov literally dominated the AHL last year. Had most goals, had most points, MVP. Didn't grow in rating, even though he was a medium elite, stayed in 80, so I guess he was a bust, sort of. Like, he was a third round pick, so I guess at that spot, still good. I don't know, kind of weird progression in my mind. Also, too, I realized Repkov, his shot's ridiculous. 94-90 for the wrist shot, 89-90 for the slap shot. Like, he better put up a bunch of goals. You look at the rest of the team, Crystal I made sure having the top 6. You got Cowan still there, Jaeger we signed. Reimer's an 80 on the fourth line just because he's good defensively. Speaking of the defense, top 4 there, all 80s. Bomb pair 78-79. Like, no reason why this AHL team can't be back in the Calder Cup final trying to win a third one. And finally here, guys, before we end the episode, I'll show you the ratings for next season. As I mentioned, I think we're pretty stacked. I mean, look at that. Matthews, Laxo, McAvoy. We've got 100 offense, 91 defense, 85 goaltending. Hopefully it's good enough to win one more Stanley Cup in the final season. But that's going to do it, guys, for this episode. If you enjoyed it, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.